Hello, and thank you for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz, and I'm here with meteorologist Tracy Bean in for Corrales Ortiz tonight. Now, Tracy, it's already getting late. Let's get right into it. What do people know for the weather tomorrow? I know we're getting into that cool in the morning, hot by the afternoon.
Yes.
Whole thing.
The answer is layers. That is the answer to it all. We're going to kick off our morning with, again, just beautiful cooler weather. And right now, temperatures aren't too bad if you're headed outside for one last look. 65 here in Little Rock, and we're looking at 54 in Clinton and 68 in Pine Bluff. So again, not too bad around the state, feeling pretty good. And when you wake up, it's going to be more of the same. We're going to hit the 60s and maybe a little tiptoe into the 50s as we head into work this morning, tomorrow morning actually. Winds are going to be out of the north-northeast, keeping that cool breeze going. So again, layers are the answer. Be a little cool in the morning, but as the day progresses, we're going to heat up. There's going to be sunshine for everyone. Things are going to be looking pretty good. 56 at 7 a.m., 75 around noon, and 83 around 4 p.m. So when you wake up in the morning, go ahead and put the kids in those jackets, but they won't need them by the end of the day.
We are, of course, continuing to monitor the severe weather that we've seen over the past few weeks. All along Florida's Gulf Coast, rescue crews are out looking for people who decided to stay back and ride out Hurricane Ian. The Category 4 storm obliterated entire communities, killing at least 80 people in Florida alone. Chris Hoffman has the latest from Northport.
Anyone home? Search and rescue!
Calls for help are being answered on Florida's Sanibel Island.
Your son sent us. We're a rescue organization.
Rescue crews are going door to door, finding people like Betty Reynolds, who's lived here for 47 years and has seen her fair share of hurricanes.
I didn't stay for Charlie or Irma, and I had no damage. And I just didn't believe that there'd be storm surge.
Just north of Sanibel, the Coast Guard is leading a mass rescue on Pine Island, Florida's largest barrier island. Its bridge to the mainland destroyed.
I should have left. I shouldn't have stayed. We watched boats, houses. We watched everything just go flying by. We've lost so much at this point.
Federal officials say more than 1,000 people have been rescued from flooded areas along Florida's southwestern coast. 5,400 National Guard members are supporting relief effort, including clearing the roads in Fort Myers Beach. The mayor of Fort Myers defended the timing of the mandatory evacuation orders given by Lee County officials a day later than other counties in the area.
Warnings for hurricane season start in June, and so there's a degree of personal responsibility here. The thing is that a certain percentage of people will not heed the warnings regardless.
I'm here on the mainland in Northport, Florida, more than 25 miles from where Hurricane Ian came ashore on Wednesday, and people are still being evacuated from flooded communities. Kevin and Laura Leaf got a boat ride to dry land from a stranger.
Our house is surrounded by water.
They would have stayed, they said, but they don't have power. Power is still out for thousands, but Florida Power and Light announced 44,000 utility workers from 33 states have restored electricity to 75% of customers. Chris Hoffman, CBS News, Northport, Florida.
President Biden plans to visit Florida on Wednesday following a trip tomorrow to Puerto Rico, recently ravaged by Hurricane Fiona. New tonight to the newsroom. Little Rock police are in the early stages of investigating a shooting that left a 40-year-old man dead. Shortly after 5 p.m., police were sent to a home on Greencrest Drive for an armed disturbance, but they didn't find a victim. Later on in the evening, police determined that someone had been shot at the home and sadly died after arriving at a local hospital. The victim's name has not yet been released, but we are still working to get more information on this story. And of course, we will always provide our latest updates on our website at thv11.com. Tonight, a 32-year-old man in Benton is in custody, charged with nearly 1,000 counts of child porn possession. Saline County authorities tell us that Ethan Robert Clark was arrested on Friday following an investigation with Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Clark was charged with 940 counts of possessing, distributing, or viewing material that depicted, quote, sexually explicit conduct involving a child. That's a Class C felony. It seems like the holiday shopping season starts earlier every year. And honestly, I think Christmas music does too. I'm already starting to hear a little bit of that. All I want for Christmas is you. And this year, well, it's no exception. Inflation is also pushing major retailers to usher in new deals even this month. Ashley Stromer has the latest from consumer experts on how you can help save yourself some cash, plus what area you might not be able to find any savings, no matter how much you search.
It's hard to believe the holidays are drawing near, but as larger retailers prepare to offer some early holiday deals in October to draw in customers weary of inflation, consumer experts warn just because you see a product is on sale doesn't necessarily mean it's a good deal.
To take a step back and look at the percentage of the discount compared to the list price. Is the list price a little too inflated, perhaps, and therefore the discount is not much of a discount?
A slight solution? Retail experts say you should start comparison shopping now for gifts you want to give in December, especially with some economists predicting costs could fluctuate ahead of a potential recession.
My own prediction is that in the next 12 months, we'll likely see a minor recession. That'll lead to a job loss, not just in manufacturing, but in the entire economy.
But one area where comparison shopping may not do you any good is holiday airfare.
Prices are going to keep going up. The energy crisis is still on the table. The war is still on the table. The staffing shortages that caused travel nightmares over the summer have not abated. They're still on the plate. And consumer demand for travel has not diminished at all, in spite of inflation going up.
According to data from travel company Cheap Air, costs for domestic flights currently scheduled for around Thanksgiving are roughly 25% higher than they were this time last year, with costs around Christmas and New Year's averaging about 28% more.
As soon as you find a ticket that you can afford and fits your budget, get it.
TSA is expecting to see big holiday crowds once again this year, and Little Rock Airport starts their new direct flights to New York City right in time for the holidays in early November. Now back here at home, the North Little Rock First United Methodist Church is opening their own little free library today. That's right across the street from Indian Hills Elementary. Church youth actually installed the library a few weeks ago, hoping to make reading more accessible, and they've been filling it ever since. They're hoping that anyone who would like to borrow, take, or even keep or bring a book back, of course it is a library, that'll be accessible to anyone in the community.
It is a ministry that is inspired by the youth of our church for the greater community.
The library was actually a gift from another UMC church, which got a grant to distribute books from the 200,000 More Reasons program that promotes literacy for people here in Arkansas. Another group of Arkansans in North Little Rock are working to make bike ownership more accessible and easier to come by for area families. A few hours ago, Everybody Bikes hosted its block party. Volunteers showed up to, of course, have a little fun on those bikes, work on bikes, or even just to learn about the organization that fixes up those bikes to give to kids that need them, all for free. If you want to hop on a ride or want to learn more about the group to help the cause, you can find out all about that on our website, of course, at thv11.com. Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to highlight the achievements and contributions of Hispanic Americans. THV11's Julissa Garza spent time with the owner of an ice cream shop, or Neviera, and shares his story.
In Southwest Little Rock lies a place full of sweet, salty, and spicy treats. Tinos.
Some flavors is water-based and some flavors cream-based, but everything is homemade.
Tino Guevara has been sharing his family recipes with Arkansans for 7 years. Recipes that come from home.
We're from Puebla, Mexico. One little town next to Oaxaca and Guerrero.
Guevara came to the United States with a dream of owning his own business, and he hopes for it to grow beyond the natural state with help from his sons.
Que hay en diferentes ciudades.
His son Eduardo is very proud of his dad.
He's been through a lot in his childhood, and just seeing him expand this place. We started out at a restaurant, a small corner, and for him to own his own store is really good.
Guevara hopes the familiar flavors remind customers of their roots.
Les venga un recuerdo de donde nosotros salimos, pues son sabores que bastantes de nosotros como hispanos los conocemos.
Itzo Velázquez with Conexión de Negocios Latinos says Guevara does much more than that for the Latinx community in Little Rock.
But he's someone that's always been willing to help the community. Whenever the census was going on, the library systems, they had tables here.
Velázquez and the organization she works with helps Latinx businesses to thrive.
A lot of them do have the entrepreneurial spirit. They just haven't had access to the resources because of language barriers or access.
She sees firsthand the number of Latinx businesses growing.
This year alone, we've had a lot of workshops, and at our workshops, we have at least between 20 to 25 people come, and all of these business workshops are in Spanish.
Velázquez says leaders in the Latinx community like Tino are vital in helping more people turn their dreams into a reality.
We need more people like him. We need more people that not only care about the business, but the community.
Jalissa Garza, THV 11 News.
That ice cream sure does look good. We've got a good story coming up for you. You've heard of stealing bases, but what about stealing a baseball? Well, after a child's ball goes missing, one police officer stepped up to the plate to help. That heartwarming story in just 7 minutes. But first, Tracy?
It's starting to feel a whole lot like fall. We've got temperatures out there right now in the 50s and the 60s, and they'll dip down just a little bit lower. I'll let you know if these fall-like temperatures will continue in just a few minutes.